Hey YouTube, I thought I would make a video on the 5 things that I did to double my convenience store sales in 1 year. Uh, as you learned in my last video, I got a new Canon camera. I'm still getting familiar with it. I haven't bought a tripod yet. But hopefully you can see me and hear me. I'm debating on buying a ring light so I can have a little bit more lights. Right now I'm just using my office lights, which are these, the ceiling fan lights, and then I have 5 recessed can lights on the ceiling. So it's bright enough, but I'll see if I want to invest in a ring light. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comment section on a cheap ring light that you guys recommend for lighting purposes. So let's get to the video. So the first thing I did when I bought my store is I increased the hours of operation. The store used to close at 9 p.m. The old man would open at 8 and close at 9. So I noticed that when we were closing at 9, the first when we were still training with when I was still not the owner, I trained for 2 months before taking complete ownership of the store. I noticed that at 9, exactly at 9, we had a lot of customers coming in and knocking on the door and saying, hey, can I buy a beer, or can I get a pack of cigarettes, or can I get a gallon of milk? So I started noticing that there was demand for staying open later. So I made the decision to stay open until 11 p.m. So I extended it 2 more hours, Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, since it's the weekend and everybody's partying, doing cookouts. We call it in Spanish carne asadas. I decided to stay until midnight, open until midnight. So same hours in the morning, 8 a.m. all the way to midnight, Friday and Saturday. And then on Sundays, since the previous owner was a one-man operation, he was the one running the whole store. He needed a break on Sunday, so he would open on 10 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. So he would close very early on Sundays. I guess he was doing that so he could get a break at least one day out of the week. But since we have employees, we are able to leverage their time, and we now open at 10 a.m. We don't open that early on Sunday. The reason is because here in Texas, you cannot sell beer until noon, until 12. So funny to say, but most of our sales is in alcohol. In beer, cigarettes, and lottery. Those are most of my sales. So I have not tried opening at 8 in the morning. I'm guessing it's gonna be slow. Right now we open at 9 in the morning, and we close at 10 on Sundays. So Sunday is a short day, but we still open throughout most of the day. So I guess I should have covered when I bought the store. Going a little bit back, when I bought the store, he was selling an average of 300 to 350 a month. A year. I'm sorry, in gross sales, which equals about 25,000 a month. So he was selling anywhere from 22,000 to 26,000 a month. And those are the numbers that I was working with when I started. I did all my business plan and my planning with those numbers in mind. Not thinking that I was gonna increase the sales drastically, almost double. So the second thing I did to increase the sales And this, I actually have to thank my wife, because she was the one that quit her job first, and she was the one that was running in the daytime. She was getting most of the clients, was having excellent customer service. A lot of the customers would complain about the previous owner and the previous employees, and I don't know if it's true. I don't want to get into any of the details. It's none of my business. But my wife and I know that good customer service, treating the customers right, is very important, because the customers will be back, and getting to know them from on a more personal level. We know 70% of our customers by first name. We know. I know at least maybe maybe half of them where they live around the block. So it's a neighborhood store, and it's not the same thing as going into a gas station, a 7-Eleven, where every time you go, it's gonna be a different cashier, and every time you're gonna fuel in a different area, and you don't get to know the cashier or the person, the owner, on a personal level. Here it's very different. Even now that I'm not in the store as much, I'm basically working the back end, the backstage of the operation. I still go to the front. I still greet the customers. I still try to have a conversation with them, so I can treat them right, and so they can feel comfortable coming in here. So I'm trying to go as fast as possible through these 5 guys, because I'm trying to keep my videos short. I've noticed it. I've been noticing that most of my videos are 20-30 minutes long, and I don't want to bore you to death. So I'm trying to keep this one maybe 10-12 minutes at the most. So let's see how we're doing. I think we're on minute 7 already, and we're on number 3. So we're doing good. So number 3, the third thing that I, and when I say I did, I'm talking about my wife and I, because this was a team effort, and I'm not gonna take the whole credit. It was my wife and I, and our employees that helped a lot. I'm not taking all the credit for this success. So the third thing we did is I added other inventory departments. For example, we added a little bit of clothing. We added party supplies, electronics, cell phone accessories, the propane gas tanks on the exterior, on the outsides. And those other inventory departments do increase the sales, because sometimes customers come in looking for a charger for their cell phone, and when they're here, they'll buy the charger, and then they'll buy a soda, and then they'll buy chips, and they'll buy the bin dip, and it adds up. Some customers will come in for will come in to see if we have a towel, because they need a bath towel, and they come in for different things that we offer now. We're not only selling groceries. We offer we try to carry other stuff. We carry a lot of the dollar, like the Dollar Tree supplies. We try to have a lot of dollar stuff, a lot of dollar items, and we try to have motor oil, toiletries. So we ventured into other areas that we could sell anything that I see that people might need, and they don't want to go all the way to the local Walmart or the H-E-B. They can stop at the store and buy it quicker. So item number 4, the fourth item that we did is we added other services apart from selling groceries. So what I mean is, and this is one of the best ones that increase the sales and the foot traffic. So we ventured into other areas, other services. Nowadays, we cannot live off of selling beans and lettuce and just groceries, because the margins are very slim. And those perishables sometimes They sometimes expire, and we have to throw them away. So we cannot depend 100% on the groceries. So other services that we offered is money transfers. I've mentioned in another video. I want to make a video just on that so I can explain exactly what money transfers is. But just a little summary is basically people that live here in the States that want to send money over to Africa, South America, Mexico, to their relatives. So they come over here, they come and work, and they get paid on Friday, and a part of their money they send it back home to their mother, to their wife, to their kids. So we charge a fee of $10 for that, and we're partners with a money transfer company. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. And we get half of the commission, so we get $5 out of every transaction. So if there's 1,000 transactions in a month, we get $5,000 extra deposited into our account. So it's very profitable. And once again, some people are looking for that service that are outside our neighborhood, and we attract not only because somebody, I mean, being realistic. Somebody that lives across the city is not gonna come to our store to buy milk, to buy tobacco, to buy a beer. Why? Because they have other stores in those areas. But they will come for these money transfer services if they like the company that we have, which is called Sigi. It's a very popular company. So if they're looking for that exact company, and we are one of the only ones here in Laredo. My sister, I hope my sister opened another store in the South area, and she also has a service. But getting to the point is these services will attract people outside of your circle of clients, of your regulars. So we ventured into money transfers. We have check cashing. We cash checks. We have calling cards for if you have a relative in Mexico and you want to put minutes into their cell phone so they can call you. We have those calling cards for the cell phones, and we also have money orders. So a typical client will come in on Friday. They will cash their check here, and then they will send money to Mexico or to another country with the money transfers. And sometimes they buy money orders, and they'll buy a calling card so they can call them, and then they'll buy groceries. So it's a full package, and we get a little bit of different areas of different areas, not only on groceries, on different areas as the financial services that we offer. So the last thing that we did to double our convenience store sales in 1 year, in the first year of opening the store, is we always make sure that we have a hook item special. So what I mean hook like when you throw a hook to catch a fish. Sometimes most of the time, for example, in the beer, I have a special. Even if I'm only making a few cents, or maybe I'm selling at cost, I'll sacrifice an item, a big selling item, so that item can attract people, and instead of going somewhere else, they'll come here because of that item. And once they're here to buy that item, they'll usually buy other higher margin items. So it's basically like a magnet. I'll have it in different areas. I'll have the tall boys, the cans. Maybe I'll have them on special, like for 2 for $3. I'll sell them at cost, or a little bit more than cost, and that will attract customers. And then they'll come here, and then they'll buy maybe a propane tank for the cookout, and then they'll buy the barbecue grill stuff, the fluid, onions, and the whole 9 yards. So that has been very prosperous for us, having a hook item or a magnet on special, so it can attract the customers. Sometimes it may be the 3-liter Coke. We might have it on special at cost. So we try to have different items. Maybe the beer for the alcohol drinkers, because they each buy different items. We have a group that buys beer every day. We have a group that buys maybe milk and bread every day. So we try to have a hook item in every department so it can attract a variety of clients. And one last item that I forgot to mention, and it didn't make it to the list, but I think it's important mentioning, is I always try to have a variety of items for the customers to choose. Variety of items by referencing on the price. So I remember my wife used to say, don't buy that milk because we already have this milk, and I would tell her, we need to have a high priced item and a low priced item. For example, let's say a loaf of bread. We already have a loaf of bread, so don't buy that new inventory. So I always try to tell my wife, let's buy the $1.50 loaf of bread, and let's buy a $3 loaf of bread, and let the customer decide, because you gotta have products for everyone. So if you have a high-end buyer that likes the expensive bread, he can buy the expensive bread. If the next client is more frugal or doesn't have as much cash and wants to buy a cheaper, a more inexpensive item, less expensive item, you can have that option. And that goes for maybe gel for the hair. We'll have a higher price gel and a lower price gel, and the customer will decide which one to buy. That way, if they're looking for the higher end product, we have it. If they're looking for a lower priced item, we have it. So as I mentioned, the sales were about 325 to 350. Now we're pushing over 600,000 a year, which is about 50,000. We're averaging 50 to 55,000 a month. So we are very thankful with the Lord, and that He has given us the wisdom to increase the sales. And I know that there's more to unravel. There's more to there's other areas that I can implement, and for example, the meat market. If I have a meat market, if I install a meat market here and I hire a butcher, I know that will be another business within the business, another cash flow business. I would just have to redesign the space, because we have about 1,800 square feet on the store, so it's not a very large store, but that would be another profitable department to implement. So once again, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you like the video, make sure you give me a like, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. It helps out tremendously. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye.